He is
The
he's one of
Bombay
the
dancer, right?
biggest hip hop dancer
I loved
of
his
India.
dance, yeah.
I'm hosting him in the US. Like I'm
Wait,
not.
really?
Wait, when?
Why did you start off with that? That's so amazing.
Wait, I want to go to this.
Wait,
Seriously.
He's the only dancer that my husband follows.
Okay.
No matter if you have a dream, and if you think that's gonna work, go at it. No matter how many times you fail. And I stood in the middle of the road. I just ended up crying. I was crying so loud. I called up my husband and I was like, I can't. Taking everybody. You're as strong as the weakest person in the class, right? So your goal is collectively to get that weaker person to a strong point and make sure that everybody is at the same level.
So community uplifting. Right?
Texted my husband and I was like, I'm coming home with a broken dream. And he replied back saying, dreams that take the longest are the sweetest to achieve. But
before introducing her, right, I need to give a big rant, a big rant. So that hiking is the worst activity ever, worst hobby ever. And
it must have hit you hard.
It did, to the point
Like when you're walking up the stairs, right? Like when you walk, like somehow managing up.
But now coming back from the worst hobby ever, which is hiking, and I'll be posting a vlog about why the hiking is the worst activity ever, and you can see this in the link over here. Let's go to the best activity ever, which is dancing. Something which my parents are obsessed over, something which I'm obsessed over, but we both are like not very good at it. We are like super horrible at it, but we love dancing.
Yes, it's so much fun.
So today's guest is a person who made an entrepreneurial career out of her passion, which is dancing. She has been celebrated and recognized over like by different magazines, different media because of her venture in Seattle, and not only that, she likes to live life the way her company's name is, which is Live2Dance. She lives just to dance. Welcome, Deepali. How is it going?
Oh my God. Thank you so much, you guys. This is so sweet of you guys. Thank you for having me over. And this is, this whole experience is really fun. I'm loving how I sound.
Yeah, you're sounding amazing. Don't worry about that. But Deepali, let's just get on to the chase right now, right?
Of course.
Success is never overnight, right? And I'll call Live2Dance a successful dancing venture where most of the people or most of the friends that I know in Seattle, right, they have been to Live2Dance classes. Yep. So can you just walk us through how Live2Dance became a success?
Oh my God.
And you can start from wherever. You can start from right from the day that you were born.
This is going to be like a longer conversation.
We're here for it. We're here for it.
Exactly. It's your show, your time. Just go for it.
So I don't know where to start from. I am going to start from, grew up in India.
Okay.
Army kid, a total army brat.
Where in India?
All over India.
Okay.
I don't know how to answer that question. When people ask me, where in India are you from? I'm like, dude, I don't know. From India.
Okay.
Dad is from Jammu and Kashmir. Mom is from Pathankot, Punjab, but all over the place. So don't know how to answer that. But grew up all over India. So I guess the sense of community had always been imbibed in me. And, all of us army kids, we grow up in a very strong community. And I genuinely believe that there is nothing... What's the purpose of your life if you don't have a community around you?
Yeah,
I mean, I really think community is what helps you grow and you grow a community.
Can you define community? What do you mean by community? Like people around you?
It's people who help each other grow. I mean, obviously, when you come to a dance class also, obviously your purpose is to learn dance, but there's a bigger purpose in that. You are helping each other grow. And that's what when you come into Live2Dance, you'll see that the vibe is very different from any other place that you go to, because people are not just focused on their own personal growth. People are helping each other out. And after every class, I give a shout out to one person who kept a friend going in the class, or who brought that Live2Dance vibe in them. And Live2Dance vibe is community. I mean, you're taking everybody. You're as strong as the weakest person in the class, right? So your goal is collectively to get that weaker person to a strong point and make sure that everybody is at the same level.
So community uplifting, right?
So it's basically everybody growing together. I'll just give you one example. I mean, just a few days ago, we have this Telegram group. We used to be on WhatsApp, but then we exceeded the limit, so they kicked us out. So now
Wait, limit for messages?
No, for number of people.
Groups, it's like
Wait, there's a limit of number of people that you can add?
On WhatsApp, yeah. I think 250 is the number.
Dude, I'm super naive in tech, man. I did not know about this.
So they kicked us out, so we are on Telegram right now. But very recently, somebody on Telegram group messaged that, hey, is anybody traveling to India very soon? Because I need this particular medicine for my mom. And the other person replied back, oh, I have excess of this medicine at my home. I'll give it to you. And then the third person was like, I am driving from this place to the other place. I'll pick it up from you and drop it to you.
That's
all three
amazing.
people do not know each other. All they know is they're a part of Live2Dance community.
And then you help each other, yeah.
All I'm saying is, the purpose of Live2Dance is to make sure that there is home. Like we provide home for people who are away from home, who are looking to be a part of something bigger. Beautiful.
And I love how it transcends beyond dance. Like obviously dance is that initial connection point, but then it becomes like way more than that. You build deeper connections, you help one another, and I think that's really powerful because so many times I'm not an amazing dancer, but I like to go just for fun. Like majority of the masses probably is not like the best dancers ever, but when you go to a dance class and you don't feel intimidated and you feel invited to, you know, participate, and like other people help you, they give you tidbits in a very nice way, that's what makes you feel comfortable. Because sometimes it is intimidating when you go to a dance class and you see all these experts that are fantastic.
Exactly, like one of the reasons I don't go for dancing is because I know like my hands and legs will be going in different directions.
I know so many people. I mean, I have danced pretty much all my life. I've been to so many dance classes and I know exactly what that feels like.
Yeah.
And when I get any instructors on board, I make sure that they know that is the feeling I don't want anyone to feel in my class. Like if you see a new student, you attack that person more. Like you'll be like, welcome everybody. Everybody needs to collectively welcome that person more than they'd usually welcome others. Like that's the vibe that I want in Live2Dance. That you know, it's home away from home. Right now we have Ganpati going on. I think Ganpati season starts this
September,
week. This week actually. So it's so nice and warm and welcoming because everybody who's you know celebrating Ganpati has invited everybody to their houses. So we're going to be house hopping on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So the same group goes from one place to the other.
Cool.
A lot of people tell me that they don't miss Mumbai or they don't miss India anymore.
Amazing.
People who go to India after 3 years are like, dude, when am I going to come back?
Yeah.
I want to be home. And
that's a marker of success. I have a very PME type of question, but what do you look like? How do you define success? Like, how do you look at like the number of people who come back, or like how much you're making from classes, like profit? Are you looking at the number? Like what metrics?
What is that one thing that you're looking for when you like either started this or right now when you're pursuing this?
That you know that you're kind of heading in the right direction.
Live2Dance has never been a profit and loss statement for me. It never was, it never will be. It is you know, that's not factor of success for me. I don't know if I'm still successful. I don't know. I'm still trying to be there. But I'll just give you one example. You're just being humble right now. I'll give you one example. What I think defines my success. Like I feel like that to me is everything. When I get messages every day, I get close to 10 messages every day. I'm not exaggerating. Where people tell me how Live2Dance has helped them survive in Seattle, or when they tell me that, you know, it has helped them
survive from a community aspect?
No, from like mental health, or just
That's amazing.
Just find a family or home in Seattle. I have had people who've come and told me that they were ready to move back to India, like packed bags, bought their tickets, were ready to move back to India, came to one class of Live2Dance, called up mom, and were like, not coming back again. I'm not coming back.
And I can totally like understand why that's the case, because Seattle is such a cold place. And when I say cold, I don't mean like weather-wise. I mean like people-wise.
Seattle freeze.
People are friendly, but they're like cold at the same time as well. So okay, so you
the other day, I think this was like the nicest moment that I had was this girl, she messages me and she's like, are you in the studio? Because my mom is visiting from India and she'd like to come and meet you. And I was like, of course. I went out for coffee with them, and the mom was like, I wanted to personally thank you because it's the first time in 10 years that my daughter is off anxiety medication.
Wow.
And I get so many, I mean, I get messages like these every day, but coming from a mom who's visiting Seattle and, you know, personally coming and telling me, I'm getting goosebumps.
So that is what
you've answered your question. You that is success.
I mean,
that is what gives you a kick in the morning, right? Seeing like messages like this, like which are so
dude,
heartfelt.
Why else would you do I mean, that's exactly my point. I mean, I didn't quit my corporate career to start Live2Dance just because I wanted it to be profitable. And I kid you not, owning a dance studio cannot be profitable unless you go really, really big.
Oh, wow.
I mean, just to make profits or break even your cost from regular classes is not an option.
So let's get into the business of this.
I would love to get in the mechanics.
So, it doesn't work.
So what is the business or economics of a dancing studio or a dancing entrepreneurship gig look like? Like, what is the money that you have to put in? What is the return on investment? How does it work to recuperate money? And how does the business look like? And when did you start this? Like, did you start this like recently, or how long has this been?
So
business venture
coming to
for?
your first question, I own a dance studio in Seattle downtown, and it's surrounded by all the Amazon buildings. So it's prime location.
Own as
Wow.
in like you have a space bought up?
Yeah, so I lease that space.
And
It's
Okay.
mine for like next 3 years.
Wow. Okay.
So it's prime location. I pay very, very heavy
Oh,
rent there.
wow.
So my expense, that particular expense plus cost of operations that I do, regular operations.
What are some operations that like are overheads?
Everything starting from water expense to electricity to my internet and basically everything, my instructor charges or guest instructors that I get in, like all of those,
you have to pay for all. Yeah.
all
probably-
the operational expenses.
Okay.
They are so it's very hard for me to recover them from just dance classes. There's no way I can recover them from dance
Okay.
classes. So then I have to think of other options to do it, and I have not gotten to that point where I think I'm able to, my classes or my operations are able to recover my expenses yet.
Okay.
But I will get there. I know.
Okay.
I mean, I also cut myself some slack because the first 2 years of my business were through the thick of pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I started in pandemic. And I
When
mean,
did you-
I
when did you
started in
start?
October 2019.
Oh,
And,
okay.
as soon as we were picking up, I actually broke my neck.
Oh wow.
Shit.
I fell from the stairs and I broke my neck. So I had to go into the surgery. And when I came back in March, pandemic hit.
Yeah.
So I never got a chance to really ramp it up. And then, I shut down the studio. Obviously, we weren't taking any classes. I was panicking because I had literally put everything, our entire
Oh wow.
life savings in that studio.
So
and-
you went all in.
I went all in. Like,
Okay.
and actually, there's a pre-story to that as well, which I'll come back to later. But
Okay.
it's about, the immigration process that was
Uh-huh.
a bigger struggle to get to than the studio. Anyway, so I lost everything. And, I used to tell my husband that I feel like I'm going to go to sleep and I won't wake up because I'm so stressed out. I'm going to die in
Oh
my
my
sleep. Like, it was
God.
just so stressful. And we had 2
Wow.
kids at home. So, we were constantly managing that. I was trying to take as many virtual classes. I used to take back-to-back 5 classes sometimes just to, in desperation, to make enough
my
revenue
God.
to pay for my rent in
And
the
that could
studio.
be physically really
I was
demanding on the body.
It's
dead.
super
Like I
taxing.
wasn't sleeping. I didn't
Oh
sleep
my
for 2
God.
years. I was like
Shit.
That's what
constantly
they say,
just
the
working.
entrepreneurial journey, right? You go on Shark Tank, all those Mark Cuban and all, they're like, yeah, what's the hustle? That's the hustle.
What people don't understand is like they easily want to leave their corporate job about from 9 to 5. They complain about 9 to 5. But what they don't understand is if you leave 9 to 5, you have to work from 9 to 8.
24
I don't mean
hours.
9
Yeah.
9 a.m. to 8
24
p.m.
hours.
People
I mean 9 a.m. to 8
glamorize
a.m.
people
24
glamorize
hours.
entrepreneurship, but I'm glad you're obviously there's a light and it's worth it, but it comes with a lot of struggle.
A lot of
work.
people, actually the first time I ever started a dance class or a dance workshop in Seattle was in 2016.
Okay.
It was
Tell us more about it. I'd love to know. Like,
It was
how did
more-
you start it? And why did you want to start
Oh yeah,
it?
that was your first question,
Yes.
right? Yeah. I should have I
It's-
think I digressed
you,
it from
you
there.
don't even have to worry about it.
Okay.
It's all
So,
good.
when I moved to North America, to Canada, Ottawa, in 2010.
Okay.
And when I moved there, and I'm a very community person, I believe that everyone's purpose is to, at the end of the day, we're all walking each other home, right?
Yeah.
We're all a part of each other's journey.
Yes.
So if you're a part of each other's journey, might as well contribute to
That's such a
that
beautiful
journey.
line. We're
Yeah.
walking each other to like
we're
our
walking
homes.
each other home. I
That's
really
so
believe that
amazing.
what are we even doing here? We're
Uh-huh.
just together influencing each other to be
Yeah, all
Correct.
the
Part of their
journeys
con-
are converging.
So when I moved to Canada, Ottawa, I realized that it was really hard to make friends outside of school and college. Like, where do you find people? Where do you find people who talk like you, who look like you, who are as
So hard.
Bollywood as you, who, understand your upbringing, who are like you? It's really, in India, it's easy. Even if I've moved every year and I've made friends and, kept in touch with other friends. But it's really hard to make it outside of India because where do you find those people? So I panicked. And then 2 days later, I started Live2Dance.
Nice.
Okay, nice.
I started, it was, and back then there was no, there was social
It was
media.
bad, yeah.
But I was like, I didn't know how to use it or whatever. And so we used to take, my husband and I, we used to take printouts and we used to put it in, mailboxes of all the houses. We used to put it in all the coffee shops.
One small
and
question, sorry to interrupt. When did you get married? Because it seems like your husband has been in the story for a very long time, and the fact that he like I think like he's a backbone to your
And
story,
a big
right?
supporter.
A big supporter. So when did you guys get married?
Oh my God, it was many years ago, 12 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congrats on that.
So in
Yeah.
Canada, Ottawa itself?
In Delhi, in New
In
Delhi.
Delhi,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So you both came to Ottawa?
No, he came before I did.
Okay.
But so we would take like printouts from
And put 'em
his
in the
office,
mail.
and we would go to like, we would just walk down the streets and put in all the pillars and do all of those things, and started with like 5 people came to my first class, 10 people. But here's the thing, that dance community in Ottawa was very united and very supportive of each other, and that's where I learned that if you support each other, you're not losing any market of your own, but you're actually promoting each other. It's a cumulative growth of the entire dance community together.
What do you think made Ottawa very special? Because I grew up in Houston, and Houston also has a big dance presence, but a lot of people come to these classes to further, to maybe get ahead,
To network,
or to grow their abilities. And the dance classes I took growing up were not like this that you're sharing. I wish I was a kid. I hope all the kids in Seattle take your class, because it's an incredible way to just build a very supportive mindset. But like, I guess what was it about Ottawa? Because a lot of places and things
I think
like
it was really the fact that I woke up one day and I was like, I don't know where to find friends. What do I do? Like, how do I make, or where do I even meet people?
Yeah.
So it was just an effort to
Make
get
friends
people
first.
together.
Yeah.
Get people together under one roof who think like you, who talk like you, who are as Bollywood as you, who kind of sort of like dancing, but maybe don't know,
Or they're willing to at least give it a shot.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so started there, and then slowly grew from 5 people to 10, 15, 20, 50. I still remember when my husband got a job with Amazon and we were moving to Seattle. There were 50 people who came to drop me at the airport, and we were all like weeping and crying, and this is the end of our lives, and we're never gonna start Live2Dance again. And I was like, now I have a kid, I'm gonna, I don't have as much energy as I had when I started Live2Dance in Ottawa. What am I gonna do? I'm never gonna start Live2Dance again. And then 2 days later, I started Live2Dance again in Seattle.
Wow. How is it starting in
when
Seattle?
you said you started, right? What do you mean? Like, you
So
took
what
a class?
I mean is I was like, I need to do workshops. I need to start doing workshops. So my first workshop was on September 10th, 2016. And obviously I was job hunting, and I had my own corporate job, and my husband was working. This was just a hobby, or just a way to get people together. So that was the intention of doing my first class. And then the first 10 people who came for my first very class on September 10th are still with me. They're still here.
That's incredible.
But that's the thing. Once you come to Live2Dance, you don't leave.
Ooh,
Nobody
amazing.
leaves.
I mean, we have
it's
to go.
You have to go.
Yeah, it's a trap.
I can't wait.
It's a trap.
Oh, I love going
you
on
can't.
traps. Like,
Yeah,
like
you
there's
can't.
so many hobbies that I have which are super trap worthy. I love that.
Yeah,
I
you
wanna
can't
go there.
leave.
That's amazing.
So I started Live2Dance, or I started, doing my own classes here in September 2016. And then, again, 10 people. All this Westlake and South Lake Union and Belltown, I have walked every street of the entire neighborhood, putting my flyers on bus stops and coffee shops. I have put it, like, my husband and I used to stand outside Amazon buildings and pass out our flyers,
that's amazing.
and do all of those things.
Very grassroots marketing.
Like crazy hustle, dude.
Direct marketing.
Yeah.
Dude, literally, I didn't know how social media worked.
Wow.
Anyway, so started from 10 people, 15, 50 people. So when it reached to 50 people, I was like, I want to do my own production. So ever since I'd seen Dil To Pagal Hai, I don't know if you guys have seen Dil To Pagal Hai, I wanted to...
Hot take. I haven't seen Dil To Pagal Hai till now.
My God.
Like,
We have to watch it.
everyone gets surprised when I tell them I haven't seen
We
Dil
have
To
to
Pagal Hai.
watch it.
Totally
So
judging
that
you.
is one of the things that inspired you. You
I
are
get
a
the same
Bollywood
reaction
lover.
from everyone.
I am.
Love
I
it.
take all my inspiration from Bollywood.
Bollywood is amazing. I love Bollywood as well. But growing up at that time, right, I couldn't see the movie because I wanted to see the movie, and my parents were like, "Arey, jaake padhai karo yaar. What are you doing?" And they're like, "Okay, cool. I'll go study. I'll probably watch it sometime else."
Yeah.
But I didn't get a chance to watch it.
So once you hit 50, that was kind of like the...
So that was, I was like,
You've
now
proven
I
it.
want to do my own production, because ever since I'd seen Dil To Pagal Hai, I wanted to do my own production, like my own stage, our own actors, dancers.
Nice.
We direct we write the script ourselves. We do auditions. We have like people coming in to watch our production. It's like a 90-minute dance drama production, right? Like, think of it as a musical, but not just. I mean, we're still not there, but
Bollywood musical.
yeah, like
kind of
a dance drama.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, but we didn't know anything about it. I had no idea how
When
to
you
go
say
about
we,
it.
do you mean
No,
you
I
and
mean me and my husband.
you and your husband? Is
We
he
didn't
a
know-
dancer as well?
No.
Oh no. So does he
I
help?
mean, he likes dancing. He would pretend like he doesn't like dancing, but he likes dancing.
He
Okay.
enjoys
Yeah,
it.
he enjoys it. And he enjoys being a part of Live2Dance. Like
Okay.
the other day he was telling me that I am just glad that I get to see what is being built here.
That's amazing.
that's
That's
amazing,
so,
yeah.
so
That's-
sweet.
that's-
He gets a spectator point of view from like how Live2Dance has been created right now.
Yeah, that was a very sweet statement that he said.
That's
and I was
amazing.
quite impressed.
So how are you going? How are you guys building this production?
So that was in 2018, and I was like, dude, we gotta do this production. So I gathered like 50 other crazy people I could find, and I was like, let's do a production. And everybody was like on board, but how to do it? So then we started reading up on how to write a script. Or
Wow.
like the only person in our script team who knew how to write a script was this guy called Yogesh, who had read one script once.
Oh wow.
So, like we were like banking on him. Okay, you be our script writer, and you
Totally.
be this. And
Starting
I still
from
remember,
scratch.
like I was reaching out to various people to understand how do you do a production. And I remember this guy. He was like, "So who's your stage manager?" I was like,
Wait, you
"What-
need that?
What is a stage
What's-
manager? Like, do we need a stage manager?"
Yeah.
So then I got a stage management book, and I have a friend who loves reading. So
Okay.
I was like, "Here,
This
this is your stage management book. You read this, and you are a stage manager."
Perfect.
Nice.
So like that's how we ended up, and we were basically literally learning everything while we were doing it.
Wow.
So it was like you're riding a car while fixing all of its parts together.
Wow.
But all 50 of us were doing it together. So none of us had ever done something like this before, but we were doing it together, and it just was such a satisfying experience. I remember for the first 9 months of this production, like when we started working on it, everybody literally stayed in my house. I mean, we were a team of 12 prod core members, the core team. We stayed in my house for 9 months. Afterward, they'd come here. There'd be like costume team working. There'll be like script team and sponsorship team and marketing
Wow.
team, branding team. Everybody's working in different corners, and they'd like go to work and come back there. So we were like,
proper co-working
we were
space.
like, we became best of friends. So we
Nice.
This is 2017?
This is 2018.
2018.
So I want to make sure that everybody sticks together all the time. So our first production was very, very successful.
What was it called?
Where did you
it was-
perform?
It was in the first one was in Kirkland Performance Center.
Nice.
Oh, nice. I
No,
heard of that,
actually,
yeah.
no. This one was it was a school. I forget the name of the school.
But what was the name of the production?
This was Desi Detour.
Okay.
So we
Ooh,
because we were like,
and
that
how many
sounds
performances
fun.
were there?
This was one
Like one
Bollywood dance drama production. Like there was
Wow,
there's a
okay.
storyline.
Okay.
This
How
was
long
the
was it?
first 90 minutes. So-
90 minutes. That's
so
amazing.
The story was about these 5 friends who are a part of a dance competition. They've gotten into the finals now, but they don't know what uniqueness can they bring for their final performance. So they take a trip to India, and then they gather inspiration from various cities.
that sounds so
But
cool.
while they're doing that, the group sort of breaks because there's some challenges between the groups, and then how they come together, how they put all their differences
You followed
aside.
a very nice arc of
Yeah,
story writing. You
exactly.
gotta have
It's
a
a great story.
conflict, then you come back together.
Oh, so I made my husband and another friend of mine go take script writing lessons.
Oh wow! So you could figure it out because you have to have a compelling story. It's not just about
The
the
story
dance
arc is
then.
pretty good. Yeah, you have to have
Yeah, you
tangents.
have
in
an
that.
arc.
Obviously, we want to make sure that we offer if people are coming to watch us and they're paying to
And
watch
paying
us,
for a production.
they better get a good product out of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was our first production, and then we were like, obviously we're not stopping now. I mean, we've
I
done our
love
first
it.
production. Now we
Exactly.
gotta keep going. So then we started working on our second production, and this one, now we had more experience, and this was called Happily Ever After, where it was a love triangle, and it was
So
really
cute.
fun.
And this is after that performance, the first performance?
After the first one,
This was
and
in
we got-
2019.
This was in 2019.
Nice.
So, however, after my first production in 2018, I decided I want to do this full time. Like, I
Okay.
want to build my community full time. As much as I loved, making financial models every day and assessing financial feasibility of infrastructure projects and commercial real estate investments, I was like, this doesn't
Doesn't give you that kick as
no,
Golan.
no,
Yeah,
it
it
doesn't.
doesn't give you a
It's-
kick in the
It's not my
morning.
passion. My
Yeah.
passion is really building communities. I like to see everybody push each other and help each other grow. I mean, I'm not kidding. In that group, and if one person texts that, hey, my car broke down at this spot, can someone come and help me? There'll be like 10 people going to help
That's
that person out.
incredible.
And that is what I want to build. Like, that is you know how people realize their purpose in life some sooner than later. I think I realized my purpose much sooner in life, that I want to build a community.
Yeah, you know what I really I love about what you're saying is that you don't have to be the best dancer, and it's not even, again, it transcends dancing. Like it's a way for people to come and connect and feel a part of something.
It's
and
a
dance
bigger
is a
mission.
medium.
It's a bigger mission.
Which is very beautiful.
It's not a dance school. We don't call it a dance school. It's a dance family. We have it's our home. You know, there's a community of 600 people, and the bigger goal is that I don't want anyone to who comes to Seattle feel like they don't have friends, or they're alone, or they're dealing with anxiety or stress by themselves. They just have to push themselves to come to the studio.
A deeper question, and something which I'm like thinking of right now. You've done your MBA, right? And you clearly were like good at what you were doing as your job, right? Was leaving that and like getting into this full-time painful?
Dude, that's the
Did you look at the opportunity
so that's
cost
the first step,
Big
which
decision.
is the most, like, it's more than painful, it's really scary.
Yeah.
Scary,
It's
okay.
to take that leap of faith.
Uh-huh.
I know why people don't do it. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. It took me 11 years to
do that.
to gather enough courage and financial resources to get to a point where I can take that step. It's not easy.
And
It's-
validate the fact that you did performances, right? That gave you a kick in the morning.
you
That's
had
validation
something
is
to
important.
go. But like, what was like the decision-making framework that you made that said that, okay, you know what, I'm ready to leave? You know, did you save a certain amount, or like what was?
So
what was going
obviously,
through your mind?
obviously, we were like financially at a better stage, and I think that is very important as well, because you know you're gonna be leaving your
People don't talk about it, how important that is.
Yeah.
you're gonna
Because
be leaving your
with the kid-
stable
with
income.
the kid, with
And
everything, like
I have 2 kids
health
now.
Exactly.
insurance.
So you know, like leaving the entire stable income, and it's the hardest part, and I understand why people don't do it.
So
I
what
get it.
was that one reason that kept on going in your head that, hey, I know that these are the problems,
So
but I have to go
here's
for
the
it?
thing, that I am a risk taker. I've always been a risk taker. I have always believed that if you're on the edge and you're like, should I do it? Should I not do it? Do it. Just do it. What's the worst that can happen? You know, I'll give myself 2 years. If I don't make it, I don't make it. I'll go back to my corporate
Yeah,
job.
you have an MBA, you'll get hired.
Yeah, I'll go back to my corporate job. I don't want to
Just one life.
yeah, exactly.
all
Just
in.
one life, do it. But I also understand why people don't do it. So I'm not advising anyone to go ahead and do
Yeah, it's a very
do it, because
personal
it's
decision. but-
it's totally your personal decision. Like if you think you can do it, I'd say just try it. What's the worst that can happen? I mean, it's I think what was the worst, all of the worst things did happen to me.
Okay.
And you know, like it was like for example, my first step was immigration.
Okay.
And because I'm a Canadian citizen, so for me to start my own business in the US, I require a
how does that
particular
work? Do you
I
need-
require a particular visa to start
Okay.
my own business
Which
here.
visa?
It's called E2 visa. It's an
Okay.
investor class visa. So just by the name itself, you can imagine it's investor class visa, right? So you need like lots of investments to start this visa.
$500,000.
But I
Yes?
didn't have that
No?
kind of investment.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
Is it 500,000?
You need to have $500,000.
no, not
to
for.
invest, no?
So that's a different visa. But I'm talking about E2 visa,
Okay,
and
E2.
their investment is not classified. Like it
Okay.
doesn't mention how much investment. It's very
Okay.
like subjective and speculative.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, but I didn't have that kind of investment. So, you know, we started working with a lawyer, and lawyer was like, you can maybe do it with this kind of investment, but, you know, we'll try and everything. So we sold all of our investments in other parts of the world, in Canada and, you know, India, and we brought all the money here. But then it's not enough that you brought all the money here. That money should be at risk. So, you know, you need to show...
What do you mean at risk?
Yeah.
You need to show that your investment has already been invested towards the business, so that the USCIS officers know that you're serious about this decision.
And you're,
Like if
here
you
to
don't
come
get
to
this
do
visa,
this.
if you don't get this visa, you lose everything. So
Oh,
so that
wow.
amount is at
What the
risk.
fuck?
They don't make it easy. Oh my god.
No, it's
Really?
it's the hardest visa.
Wow.
It was painful. Anyway, so I started working. You know, we did all of those things. Then, which is why I got the studio. If I didn't have that condition to show my money at risk, I would have never gotten a
So
studio.
maybe
I
it
would have
was
just
the push you
rented a
needed.
studio.
Maybe do you think it was the push? Like, how do you think that landed? Do you think it was the push that you needed, or
Dude,
what?
it was the hardest thing. Like whenever anybody asked me what was my biggest accomplishment, it was getting this visa.
Oh wow.
I'll tell you why. So I got this, you know, space, and I started investing in it. I started building it up to be a dance studio, invested a lot in that space. And then, you know, we it's like a business interview that you have to go to. It's the interview happens in Toronto. So you have to go to Toronto. It's like a 4-hour interview process where they question you on why your business you think is going to be successful, or why is it going to bring revenue to the US economy, how is it going to contribute, and how many job employments and all of those things, right? So I had been working on this business proposal for nearly 2 years. We were writing this. It was a 400-pager business proposal. I had done my competitor analysis. I had done like all my
for Seattle.
numbers.
You did competitor analysis and all for Seattle?
Yeah, for Seattle.
Wow.
Like for this studio. This was this studio. I'll finish that story later.
Sure, yeah.
But so this one, so I started doing my, I was preparing for this interview. I'd worked really hard. I knew what I was doing, right? Like I'd been building this community for a while, so I knew that what I wanted to do and where I wanted to get. I was kind of ready for this interview. I was already 7 months pregnant when I went for my interview. So I knew that this was my last chance. If I don't get it, I'm going to lose my studio space as well, because,
they're not going to wait
They're not going to wait for me. And it was really hard to get that studio space in the first place, to find a landlord who's willing to accommodate
this
your whole visa
yeah, because it's
process.
easier for them to just go with
exactly. They would rather just get somebody else. Anyway, so it was hard to. So I was gonna lose that. I will not be able to travel again because I'm gonna have a baby, and I don't know how hard would that be to travel with that baby and then prepare for this interview and everything. I didn't have a plan B. I was going all in. This was it. Like people would ask me, "What if you don't get it?" I was like, "I don't have an option. That's
not even a question that is in your head right now.
I cannot think about it. I have to get it." Anyways, I go for my interview. This was in Toronto. This was April 2019. I go for my interview. And I, go through the immigration process. I don't know if you've been to any USCIS or consulate, US consulate, but they're very, they don't have a
standoffish.
There's no smile or welcome or nothing. Like it's just very straight face, and it just puts you.
It looks like someone sucked out the air of the room. Dude.
It's hard.
I think they do that on purpose to intimidate.
I guess it's very intimidating. Anyway, so I went for my interview. I started. The questioning started, and he told me it's rejected.
Right away?
Really?
After a while, he told me I'm sorry, I'm rejecting your visa.
Did he say why?
And then I know he was talking to me. He was telling me why it was rejected. I couldn't hear anything.
Oh my God.
I could feel like I could see my tears rolling down. I couldn't feel the ground underneath. I was just numb. I didn't know what he was talking about. I took my paper. I came outside the consulate. And I stood in the middle of the road. I just ended up crying. I was crying so loud. I called up my husband and I was like, I can't believe I blew up all of our investments that we could have saved for our kids on something that I didn't even know I was going to get. I called my parents. They were disappointed. They were crying. Everybody was, because I didn't have a plan B. This was it.
Oh my God, I'm crying. I want to cry. I feel like my tears are going to come out.
And this is something which people don't realize how difficult it is for. Immigration is the biggest.
I didn't know what to do. The only option that I had left, like we were 100% convinced we want to move back to Canada. I don't want to stay in the US where I can't. I mean, it's not enough that I have I have a plan. I know I want to build this community. I know I want to take this forward, but it's judged by what my visa status is in the US.
What some other person who has no affinity,
who they perceive, they're just perceiving
and their
it,
bias,
right?
their thoughts, right?
So anyways, I remember I was taking a flight back from Toronto to Seattle, and I didn't know what I was gonna do, and I texted my husband and I was like, I'm coming home with a broken dream. And he replied back saying, dreams that take the longest are the sweetest to achieve.
Wow.
So, we came back. I met my lawyer. I was like, what options?
So why did they end up rejecting
it? A lot of reasons. I mean, not enough investments. My investment was lower than speculated or whatever
amounts.
They can rule you out in different grounds.
It could
they
be
don't
anything.
Have to justify you.
Like one of the reasons was that my business was not operational for me to show any numbers, but how will I operate it when I don't even have a visa?
Correct.
Yeah. So I should have hired somebody to operate it on my behalf so that I can show some profit loss statements to them.
Oh my God, that's
anyway.
ridiculous.
So all of those things were there. I consulted with my lawyer, and lawyer was like, listen, you'll have to put more investment. You'll have to do more hard work here. You've already been rejected once, so it's really hard to get it again. I would, if it was anybody else, I would advise not to do it. But if there's anybody who can do it, I think it's you. I think
that's such a positive morale boost by him.
And
that's
you have
amazing.
A crazy support system. Like once you're done walking us through, I want to your husband
and
your
all
lawyer,
of my friends. I'm not even kidding. My mom's first reaction was, it's okay. You know you don't get anything in the first try. My friends, I came back home, my friends were like, you already know you're not going to get it in the first try. So everybody's like, dude, we
Try
all know
again.
you're going to do it again. So,
That's crazy.
It's very important to have such a support system, dude.
Yeah.
Without a support system, you cannot be successful.
Like, how did you did you like imagine that your husband would be this supportive, or did you? Cause
I
some
guess
people
that's
are
why
very...
I married him.
I think finding the right partner is so important because they can either make or be a part of that making of that story or that breaking of it.
So you tried again, you got the visa?
So we tried again. We started working on the business proposal. We started making sure that we operate the business and we have enough operations to show when we go for the next interview.
How did you do that? Did you find
I found I hired somebody to operate it on my behalf, and like all of those things, got more investment, and I don't even know how we sourced all the finances. Like, dude, it was just so much work happening parallelly. I think my husband and I didn't take any vacation for 2 years. We were nonstop just working on this. We usually like, we don't do dinner dates, we don't go for vacation, we don't do anything but just invest everything in Live2Dance. Like, we've invested our lives, or we've done everything in the past 6 years, whatever, in Seattle. We've dedicated everything to Live2Dance. So
That's incredible.
We were anyway. So started working on that, and then my daughter was born. Usually, when kids are born, usually the first trip that you do is to a pediatrician, and our daughter made a trip to the visa office, to the passport office. So we took her to get her passport made because I was going to travel with her to Toronto for my next interview. She was only 4 or 5 weeks old when I went with her.
Oh my God, literally right away.
Oh yeah, 5 weeks old. I took her with me to Toronto. And obviously, because when I go into the interview, where is she gonna say, right? So I had to take my mom with me, and my mom was with her, and I was breastfeeding, so I had to be very I had to take permission to carry my pump with me.
Oh my God,
into the office. Anyway, so all of that happened. Went in for I still remember I was like rehearsing my questions with my mom the night before. Even the morning I was rehearsing. I was probably whatever little sleep that I was getting, or any new mom would get, I was like practicing in my sleep also. And anyway, so went for my interview. This time it was much easier. I was more convincing. I knew what to answer. I knew what to say. And they gave me my visa.
What do you think was the thing that sold them this time? Like, if you were to go back and reflect, like, what was the things that got them to say
I think there were a few things, including, I wish I had known those criteria. The thing with immigration, or with this particular visa, I don't know about others, is that it's not clearly
in print
that what are the requirements that they're looking for. I wish I'd known that
insight.
But yeah, I mean,
can I say something cheesy? I think the difference between the first and the second trip was the daughter. The daughter was the lucky charm.
My
she
mom
brought in
says
luck.
that too.
She
So my mom and my daughter are my lucky charm, and they went with me. But anyways, I remember I got out and I ran to the hotel to tell my mom that I got it, and she was like there sitting on the bed, and she was meditating, and she was like praying that she gets it. And then I got it. She started crying. I called my dad. He started crying. I called my husband. He started. My sister. Everyone was crying. The only person who wasn't crying was my daughter.
But how ironic. No, but I think honestly it was probably operationalizing it, maybe, but being super
and more
prepared.
Investment. And I genuinely think that a lot of people would give up because it's too much effort. Which is to your point, that I feel very proud of all the immigrants in the US who are
hustling,
thriving
in hustling,
every aspect of whatever they do. I mean, it could be a business, it could be their jobs, wherever they are, they're thriving. And I'm so proud of them, because you don't realize immigration is such a big stress on every immigrant's mind. I mean, you're constantly worried about, oh, did I pay my taxes? Oh my God, are they going to come after me? Or like, what if it could be anything, and they could come after you. So you're always living. Do you know, every time you travel to India, most people carry this big folder of papers with them.
Yeah, Golan
is one of
them. And then every time you cross that immigration officer, your heart is it's palpating. Like you're stressed out. What is he gonna ask
I
you?
know.
Or what is he gonna
Honestly,
say?
I
So
have so much respect. Like I got my journey is that I got my family won the green card in a lottery. I was born in Kenya, so we won the green card in the diversity visa lottery. So I grew up very naive to all of these things. But as I moved to Seattle, started meeting people, I became aware, and it, in a way, it's like America is still the land of dreams, but the government and all this doesn't make it easy for you to come and contribute and do all these amazing
which is why
things.
I feel so proud of every immigrant. I mean, everybody is doing a great job in just building a life for themselves.
Yeah.
In a country where it is not
It's
easy.
not, yeah, and
It's not easy.
Ideally, probably not set up even in a way for it to be easy.
Yeah.
Before I go on to stupid questions, right? I want to ask you something about your business again. Do you want to scale this business to different cities?
Yeah, what's your
If
dream?
yes,
what's the
your
goal?
dream? What is the end goal for this?
So a lot of people ask me that question, and
So you have an answer prepared?
no,
Yes.
I don't know. Like, I really think that my goal, first of all, like I said, right, it is that anybody who comes to Seattle, I don't want them to feel I want them to know that there's a home for them.
Correct.
But how do you replicate that model? Like, it's easier if it was just a profit and loss statement. Like, if it's easier if it was just a dance studio and you could just open up another
and
franchise
scale
and
and
scale it. But even when I get any of my instructors on board, it's not like, oh, you're a good dancer, sure, come on board, I'll get you on board as an instructor. I need to make sure that they understand the vibe of Live2Dance. I need to make sure they truly know what my vision of Live2Dance is. So I make sure I'm a very vibe person. If you give me the right vibe, I will give you my entire heart.
Correct.
But if you don't, I cannot get you on board.
So is that the only challenge for
So
scalability?
you're pretty involved.
I think
very involved.
my
I think
biggest challenge with scalability is that I need the right people. to be able to open another.
Are
Hiring
you
is
planning
not
on
easy.
doing it even other locations in Seattle?
I did actually pre-pandemic. I had I started in Bellevue, but the pandemic happened, and then that studio also closed down. Oh, by the way, coming back to that story of pandemic, I lost my studio. That I got this. I did this whole process of getting my visa
for that studio
to hold that studio, and started with the business in October 2019. March 2020 pandemic hit. I struggled, did everything, did online classes, did guest workshops, collabs, Insta challenges, did everything to make sure that everybody was happy and surviving. Then came in the 5 people indoor capacity classes. Because you could only have 5 people in a class, I used to do multiple classes, back to back classes to make sure that I can get more revenue. But obviously, with 5 people a day or 10 people
It's
a
not
day,
easy,
it's
yeah.
not
enough.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
No matter what I did, so then my husband was like, why don't you do a fundraiser? And I was like, dude, even if I do a fundraiser, what are the chances I'm going to raise $100,000 to pay for the rent, right? There's no way I can do that. He was like, why don't you just try it? So I put out this video of how we are struggling and, how I'm not able to pay the operational expenses. And the support that I got, more than financial support. I mean, financial support was, just a byproduct, but I used to get close to 200 messages every day of people telling me what Live2Dance has done to them. And, how Live2Dance is the reason why they're
and
here.
that really keeps you going.
And then I was like, screw it. I
Gotta keep
will do
going.
whatever it takes to make sure that they survive. So then, then started the whole battle of dealing with lawyers and with my property manager and with because my landlord was not willing to give me any slack.
What the
And then,
yeah, people just
because
pounce
I
on
mean,
the
but it's also
opportunity.
not their fault, right? They're also struggling, right? They're also, there's empathy all around, but they're also struggling too.
I guess. But yeah, they didn't give me any slack. So I was like, the whole process of, at one point I was dealing with an immigration lawyer, because if I lost that space, I would lose my visa as well.
gotcha.
Because my visa
Everything was-
What?
tied to
Visa's
that
on the
space.
line.
So I was dealing with an immigration lawyer,
Uh-huh.
a corporate lawyer, my property manager, and my landlord.
I feel like this needs
I
to
was
be a
like
movie.
non-stop calling and talking, and it was just too stressful.
Your
Anyways,
next production idea. Why don't you make
yeah,
a
the story of
on
this.
this itself.
actually, our third production was about our survival story. It was about how we went from there to this. Anyway, so in March 2021, I decided to give up. I couldn't keep that studio anymore, and I couldn't do it. So I left that studio, gave it up. If that was in Belltown, it was our first studio. I still remember the day we were leaving that studio. everyone
Heartbreaking.
was crying.
Because you
We
poured
were,
your heart out in
Yeah.
it, right? So it has to
it
be.
was just too heartbreaking. We were all a mush of emotions, and I knew that this is not the end of it. I knew we're gonna come back stronger, but we were also leaving the space that we had worked so hard to keep.
And there was an
And it's
emotional
a
connect to the
first,
place.
first space, so
Yeah.
it's very emotional.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So anyway, so lost that space. I thought I'll go back to my corporate job. I don't want to do this again because this is too stressful. I know, when people say that it's really hard to do your own business, I now know what they
It's
meant.
not easy.
It's not easy, and I know why people don't do it.
Yeah. It's not an easy
Yeah,
life.
you gotta the people that stay in corporate, you gotta give them a little bit of respect because it is very hard. Not everyone's cut out to do it.
Oh yeah.
Not everyone, even who does it, is able to.
Your pink matter has to
manage.
be wired differently.
Yeah.
Like you have to be that
I
resilient.
mean, you have to love it. You have
Yeah.
to absolutely
Exactly, that's the point.
love what you do. Otherwise, it's easy to give up.
Yeah.
So when did you start back again? Because right now you're not in corporate,
So
right?
yeah, so then lost that studio,
Uh-huh.
and then I was talking to my parents, and they were like, so I, my realtor reached out to me, and he was like, "There's another space. Do you want to look at it?" I was like, "No, I don't want to get into this again." But also, I'd worked so hard to build this community. My people, they believe a lot in me. Like they're
All
like
your students?
all my students, my
Nice.
entire 500, 600 people. They're like, wherever you go, we're coming with you. No matter what you're doing,
Uh-huh.
we're coming with you. So then my parents were like, do it. Like, whatever financial support you need, we're here to give you.
That's
Not that
amazing.
I needed their financial support. I could have
But
could have
just them
sourced it
saying
from
that,
other sources, but them saying that
The
That's
gesture
meant
is important.
everything to me.
Exactly.
I was like, dude, what's the worst that can happen?
Nothing.
And again, I am a risk taker. I'm like,
Let's
I'll
go
do
for
it.
it. Do you like
I'll-
poker?
no.
Or gambling
I'm
games?
really
Try
bad
it.
at that.
I feel like you might be
think
good at it.
you are
I'm
good at it.
really bad at poker. I can't do it.
So then
Um,
you then then
so
what
then
happened?
again, gathered various sources, financial sources, and gathered all of that together, got a new space. But this new space, we literally built it ourselves. Like we put the flooring ourselves.
Oh, wow.
We put I have a video of us, all of our students, working till like 3 a.m. at night, just putting the flooring, the mirrors, demolition, everything, like the art, all of that, we did it ourselves.
Wow.
So this new space is
have
literally
a great
built
team.
with a
By
lot
you.
of heart. Like it's
Yeah.
it's a labor of love.
You have a great team by
Yeah.
you. And the fact that they are sticking with you,
Yeah.
this shows a mantle on you as well. Only if a person is good do people come and help you out. If a
I
person,
mean,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
people, all of them, they would take, most of them work for Amazon. They
Uh-huh.
took days off from work to come and help out with Live2Dance.
Wow.
And
the
Amazon
studio.
vacation days are scarce, so they must
fuck,
freaking love it. Because
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
You
that's
know.
what I'm saying, right? Like people don't miss going to India because there's Live2Dance.
They have a family
there's
here.
home
Wow.
here. This is our home. I mean, it's place where everyone stays. I have a friend who's like, when you ask him what do you do, he'd be like, I dance, but on my free time I work.
yeah,
That's
on that,
funny.
I want to ask, take it a little bit back. Like, I guess if you could walk us early in your childhood, like, what drew you to dance, and like, how did it start?
Not
you
just
know?
dance,
I actually don't
entrepreneurship
know.
as well,
Yeah.
right? I'm seeing the qualities that you've represented. You're super resilient. Your perseverance is par excellent. You're disciplined. Without discipline, nothing can happen,
Discipline.
right? And you're a risk taker. All these 4 tenets or principles or like
Entrepreneurship.
traits,
yeah, I
right?
think not everyone has that. They
Yeah.
might have pockets of it, but
Exactly.
I think to be an entrepreneur that can survive
So
a
where
pandemic,
do
and
you
all
think
that,
it came from? Did
Yeah.
it come from a family who's in army or?
My entire family, including my uncles, my cousins, my grandfather, my great grandfather, nobody's ever owned a business.
Really?
Nobody
So you're the
ever.
only
Nobody
one.
Because
knows
I
how to
came
run
from a
business.
business. I came from a family where everyone had their own business, and I don't know. Like, I still debate whether that's something I want to do or not. But that's
Nobody
incredible.
ever owns a business. Nobody has ever
Wow.
had a business.
So what were they then? Doctors and all?
Army.
They were all in
Oh
the
yeah,
army.
she had army. Oh my
yeah,
god,
they were all in the army. So they're,
Wow.
I mean,
So where do you get these traits from? Bollywood? No?
I think,
yeah. Where
to
did
be
you
honest,
come
I didn't know. I don't have a mind of a business person. Like,
Okay.
I don't know.
You do,
like
you
I
do.
said,
You're being humble right now. You
I'm
do.
not kidding. I have people who advise me on how
Yes.
to do it. If they weren't there, my husband tells me every day, "Tu rehne de, tese nahi ho payega. You cannot do it. You just cannot do it," because I'm like, I can't negotiate. I can't if somebody missed a payment, I'll be like too scared to ask them for a payment, or I can't. I don't know how to monetize things. Like when I talk to other business owners, or I talk to other dance studio owners, and I ask them how they monetize, and they tell me this, I'm like, I can't do that. I mean, all of these are my people.
Why don't you hire someone who can do that for you?
Yeah, because I think what you have is the heart, and you have the emotion,
and you should not change yourself, right?
Yeah.
Why do you want to
change
yourself?
But having a business partner who can kind of complete that other portion, that would be, I think,
and maybe that might be your husband, I guess, or one of your.
Oh my God, he doesn't help me at all. He for 1 year he worked in Facebook ads. Like he worked in advertisement for Facebook, and I have a business. I could use those ad credits, right? He didn't help me for $1, not $1. He didn't have the time.
So who's giving you this business advice?
I have a few friends. I mean, my
Mentors,
sister. I convinced her to move to Seattle, so now she's here, and now I'm slowly, like slyly pushing her to.
Is she ruthless in business?
I don't think even she knows how to run a. I mean,
No, it's not about running a business. It's about like getting those payments in, right? Because it's not fair to you as well.
She's very smart. I mean, she knows how to get. I mean, between the two of us, I think she's smart.
She has like a knack for it, I guess. Maybe a little bit more.
But I don't know if there's anybody who's ruthless. I don't want anybody to be ruthless. Like just
you're such a lovely person. Like
where it is.
look at
but I think you'll slowly, I guess, depending on where you want to go down the line, how you want to, you'll build it up.
When I talk to people and they ask me if you want to expand, I'm like, if I find somebody, I'm okay to expand, but I'm okay where I am. Like I don't want to.
You're content.
I'm very happy where I am. I'm like, for example, I have a Kuthu instructor, a Kuthu dance instructor, who moved to New York for her MBA, and a lot of people after she left applied to be a Kuthu dance instructor. I know there's a very high market, or a very demanding market in in Seattle, who'd love to attend, and I know I can monetize from that a lot. Like I can get a lot of revenue from Kuthu classes. But I interviewed a lot of people. I met them. I didn't get the vibe. So I'm okay. I'm okay not making revenue out of Kuthu classes if that means I have to wait for her for 2 years to finish her MBA and come back.
I think you're a better business person than you think, because I think people who don't know business don't know how to decipher what is a no opportunity. Correct. Saying no is just as important as saying yes.
I mean, my biggest thing is I don't want anything that ruins the vibe. Like
and that's important. That's the whole community thing, right?
I've worked every day of the last 6 years to build this community and this vibe, and I want to protect it. I've always like none of my instructors know what the students are talking about them, or like if there are any conflicts, I will make sure that they bring that conflict to me and I resolve it, and nobody else get impacted by anything. So I take at least 1 hour a day to meet a new person. There's 600 people in the community. I know everyone by their names. I know most of them by their names, their family, their what they do or where they come from. So I try to take like at least 1 hour a day each day to meet a new person, so they know that I'm here. I'm not just saying that they're my family just for the sake of it.
I mean, because a lot of people say that,
they
right?
do that, yes.
Exactly.
A lot, and I think that's one of the things that probably differentiates you from a lot of these other, dance studios, Bollywood dance studios. That's a thing that differentiates.
I mean, I just think we are different because we're not a dance school.
That's pretty good.
We're just a family, and do that. And also, I feel like there's a lot of talent in Bollywood, or not just Bollywood. I mean, even I don't know if you see Dance Plus shows or other.
Have you ever auditioned for those?
No, man.
No?
I wish I had.
Like, when did you start dancing? Was it
I was always
a dancer?
dancing, but because my dad always moved from so many places, I never got an opportunity to stay in one place for a longer time. So it was always like 1 year of Kathak, and then 1 year of Gidda, and then 1 year.
Wait, you've done Gidda as well?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. That's amazing. Okay.
Wow.
So we were always. In fact, when there was no dance, my dad would just put us in karate or horse riding, so it was always like moving from one place to the other, and never got an opportunity.
Do you think your daughters will get into dancing?
I don't know. I have a feeling that when your parents force something upon you, you resist it.
Yeah.
So my parents, like I, if I try to teach a step to my son, he won't learn it.
Oh, so it has to come, I guess.
I think it comes from if somebody else teaches you a step, it's easier than your parents teaching you, and you resist your learning it from your parents. I don't know. I don't know about you, but Like, for example, driving. You can never learn driving from your dad.
Oh yeah, they're the
'Cause
worst. The absolute
you know,
worst.
Do you know my experience from driving from my dad? My dad sits next to me even till date, and he's like, "Slow chalao. Arey,
exactly.
ye karo mat karo, wo mat karo." He
Exactly.
keeps nagging all the
I
time.
have a friend-
And sorry, Papa, I'm not trying to be mean to you, but
I have a
that's what
friend,
happens.
Aman, who literally just created a reel about Desi dads trying to teach. I don't know how it's in other cultures, but Desi dads trying to teach their kids how to drive, and like, dheere chalao. Arey Papa, car start bhi nahi kiya.
Yeah, I know, it's sometimes intimidating. So you sometimes have to just find your
Yeah.
natural groove.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I hope they get into dancing, but I don't think they're getting it from me. I think I'll have to put them in separate dance classes for them to learn, like not me.
So this conversation with us, right? Like my mind just blew about. Like I knew about Live2Dance that okay, it's a dance class.
Yeah, that's
But the story behind it, right?
Behind it, the
The
heart.
11
my
years of story with
God.
ups and downs, and like you
Yeah,
giving it up and then
yeah,
starting it back again, right? So if you have to like give advice to people who are like still starting, and it can be in any venture, or if you want to like give advice to your kids, right? What advice will that be?
Yeah, about starting
About
something.
life, about starting something, about anything in general.
You know,
in
I
life.
genuinely think that no matter if you have a dream and if you think that's gonna work, go at it. No matter how many times you fail. In fact, I feel like I have failed so many times, but that has never demotivated. I mean, my failures have been sort of a push to me to do more and better, right? So it's, if you have a passion for something, go at it. It doesn't have to be a cookie cutter dream. You just, even if it is something extraordinary, just go at it with all your grit. I think grit is so important. I mean, persistence for a longer period of time. Like if you fail, it doesn't mean that you can't do it again. Like you need to
Yeah.
have that persistence for a
Because
longer
I think that
period.
allows you to think really outside of the box, because I think there's a waiting period where if you fail and you're not able to persist past that period, you end up quitting. But if you are able to, then the out of the box ideas come.
I mean, like, for example, I always feel like I am more of a marathon runner than a sprint
Not a
runner,
sprinter.
because I don't want to, like, my journey is so long, and I just keep at it, and I keep going, and I keep going, and I keep pushing myself. So that's what I would like my kids to know, that do not give up. Like, giving up is not an option. Yeah, just and marry the right person.
Yeah,
Wait.
how do you like tips on that?
You know, just dude, just I don't know.
Don't you have to like get
It's a-
lucky
it's
to
a
ride your...
gamble.
No, but like, how do you know? I guess like, do you ask questions
Yeah.
or like, how do
Oh
you
my
know?
How do you know?
The only thing that I knew that I wanted in my husband is that he should be hilarious. Like, he should be funny. Good sense of humor. And I know that he makes the entire room laugh and, into splits. So he's that was the only criteria that I had. And that was that he was a computer engineer, and I'm sort of technically, challenged.
That's a great way to put it. But Deepali, I'm like
This is
so
so
glad. I'm
motivating.
so glad that I
So
texted her on
motivating.
Instagram. I'm like, hey, I have to get her like on the podcast. And I
Thank
am
you,
so
man.
proud that I texted you and I got you on
Thank
the
you
stage.
so much.
Yeah, I'm incredibly motivated, and I think everyone should go to Live2Dance.
One of the best. Like I've
Go
done
and
like
try
many
the class.
podcasts, and I was not as intrigued in your story as like I've heard many stories, but your story was so intriguing.
I
So
know.
like it was so inspiring.
So, and it came
Like-
so much passion. I mean, I'm like, I want to go. I want to go dance.
You
I'm coming
totally
to- I'm
should. You
coming
totally
tomorrow.
should. Just to let you know that every class that I have, at least 50% of the people are dancing for the first time, or haven't danced before, or
Okay,
haven't been
good,
to a
'cause I'm
dance
not
class
a-
before.
Yeah.
And all I tell them is that they have to make a start from somewhere, right?
Just
and
try
this
it.
is the right place to start, because there is zero judgment.
Okay,
Nobody is looking at them.
the
That's the
reason I
sweet
stayed
way of
away.
saying that you dance horribly.
No, but the reason why I haven't pursued that is like I had really bad experiences
I know.
growing
I
up.
know,
Like some
I
of the
know.
instructors are so mean, or like they'll tell oh, you're not doing this in front of other people, and like
Yeah.
then you feel so self-conscious
yeah.
and you're like, well, I'm not a good dancer, and
I know. I've had similar experiences as well, and that is exactly what I didn't want to do at Live2Dance. That is the exact
No, a big
opposite
no.
of what I
yeah,
wanted
because
to
not
do.
everyone comes to be the best dancer. People come for various reasons.
Everybody here is just blowing off steam.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
everyone
so
just
much
wants to have
stress in their
fun.
lives, right?
Right.
Like everybody is dealing with the same kind of stress. I mean, job, life
Relationships.
and relationships and
And being in a place
Immigration.
which gives you like happiness and like a community feeling, that's the best thing.
yeah,
ever.
exactly. I tell everyone that the moment you enter Live2Dance studio, you only bring positive vibes. If you
Oh my
don't bring
God,
positive
we have
vibes,
to
you're not
go.
gonna survive here. It's the most
Yeah.
positive place.
That's
This is
amazing. So
amazing.
Deepali, what's happening in the next 1 month for
Oh my god.
Live2Dance
so
is
many
like
things.
Yeah, tell us, plug it all.
plug
I
in
wanna-
all in
and if
like
you have
right now.
another production coming up, I want to know about
Yes.
it.
So we started our production practices 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow.
Our next production is on November 5th.
November 5th, people.
November 5th,
We
guys,
have to
block your
go.
tickets. We're gonna block your dates. We're gonna release the tickets very soon.
Can you give us a sneak? Like, what is it about?
It is we'll release the trailer very
Okay.
soon. But
Perfect.
again, there are 170 participants
Wow.
in this, and this is Seattle's largest Bollywood dance drama production.
Oh my
That's
god,
amazing.
I can't wait.
So
Dude,
this
let's
is
just go, dude.
this is gonna be huge. It's on November 5th at Kirkland Performance Center. We will have all the details out on our social media page and go check us
What are
out.
your social media
Yeah.
pages? Just plug it
Live
in.
to
Yeah.
Dance Seattle, literally Live to Dance Seattle.
And it's
So,
spelled
you know,
LIV, right?
LIVE 2 as in the digit 2, Dance Seattle, Insta, YouTube, and Facebook.
Nice.
Okay.
So that's that. And next week, actually, on 8th of September, we are doing a Garba event.
Literally, that's amazing.
Yeah, so we're doing a Garba event on September 8th. And then I don't know if you know of Himanshu Dulani. He is he's one of
Bombay
the
dancer, right?
biggest hip-hop dancer
I love
of
his
India.
dance, yeah.
I'm hosting him in the US. Like I'm
Wait,
not
really?
Wait, when?
Why didn't you start off with that? That's so amazing.
Wait, I want to go to this.
Wait,
seriously.
you haven't followed his Instagram?
No,
He's
but
an amazing
I don't know who
dancer.
this is, but I'm already getting hyped. Like, wait,
Dude,
do you buy
he's-
tickets or how does that
Dude,
work?
you'll fall in love with his dance.
Yeah, so he's the only dancer that my husband follows.
Okay,
I'd
dude,
come
we
back
gotta
from-
go.
I'd come
No,
So
back
you're
from
getting
follow.
him live? Like, he's coming in person?
not just to Seattle, I'm hosting him in the US. Like I'm taking him to
Wow.
different cities. I'm hosting his entire workshops in
Dude, we've
Chicago,
gotta
in
go.
Boston, in New York, in Bay Area, in Seattle, and I'm missing
So
one
are the
city,
tickets
Atlanta.
out for that? Can we buy tickets?
So tickets for Boston and New York are out. I'm gonna
Seattle.
release Seattle very soon.
Nice.
Okay. We
Keep
gotta
a
get
lookout
them.
on our
Yes.
social media page. But yeah, Himanshu is gonna be here, so that's
Ooh.
another exciting.
That's
So three
super
things
big,
happening. Garba next week, our showcase November 5th, and Himanshu Dulani on November 15th and 16th in Seattle.
Awesome.
Amazing.
But other than that, we always have a very packed schedule. I have 11 instructors, really the best instructors. Like they're all my hearts. Like they're all
Aw.
pieces of my hearts. Each one of them is better than the other. They're just amazing. Like amazing people. You know, when I say I get only the people that I can match my vibe
Yeah.
with, each one of them is the most
That's
I
amazing.
can't. I
amazing.
like you're so amazing. I
I love
just
it.
can only
I love-
imagine how good these, how awesome
Yeah,
these.
So people
so-
now you know where to follow Deepali, right? I'll put her Instagram here, for Facebook here, all the links for everything out here, wherever I'm pointing, that goes in the edit. But thank you so much, Deepali.
my
I
God,
had
you
a
guys are so
great time
amazing.
talking to
Very
you.
You
inspirational.
guys are so sweet. Thank you.
People now you know what to do. Now I've promoted her, right?
Live to
I'll
Dance.
promote. No, I'll promote myself as well. Go follow me, like, share, subscribe. Also, my new vlog is coming about why I hate hiking and hiking is the best thing. But I also post a dance on like why I like dancing. But till then, bye. Please share, subscribe.